Oil and energy companies. A Dutch treat back in 1907, this oil company trades over 8 million barrels of crude per day. Autonomous after the 1911 Supreme Court monopoly bust, the Standard Oil Company of California is now this dominant energy company. Chevron. In 2026, Meg O'Neill became this company's CEO and the first woman to lead a major oil company. Woodside Energy. It's not a sprint, it's this Ohio-based petroleum company that had $1.5 billion in net income in 2025's fourth quarter. Marathon Petroleum. Known for its sign overlooking Fenway's Green Monster, it's a subsidiary of Venezuela's national oil company. Citgo. Religion and philosophy. Before Benedict XVI in 2013, the last pope to resign was Gregory XII in 1415, as part of this great crisis in church leadership. Western Schism. Elaborate rituals are part of this major branch of Buddhism, the most dominant today and with a name meaning great vehicle. Mahayana. From Sanskrit for enlightenment essence, it's a being that foregoes nirvana to return and help others first. Bodhisattva. Like Nepal's Buddhanath I, this 5-letter term is used for a dome-shaped Buddhist monument used as a reliquary or shrine. Stupa. To see things as they really are, Vipassana is said to be an original teaching of Buddha for this mindful contemplation. Meditation. Middle-earth and Tolkien lore. AKA the Onodrim, these large tree-like beings were one of the oldest races of Middle-earth. And, in a war against the orcs, the dwarf Thorin, son of Thrain, earned this nickname. Oakenshield. In the spoof movie, Fackham Hall, Tolkien is inspired when a wife uses this 2-word endearment for her husband. My precious. Meaning, foe hammer. Glamdring was the name of an elven sword wielded by this magical man. Gandalf. On their way to Mordor, Frodo and Sam were blocked for a time by Shelob, one of these creatures, in her lair. Spider. Travel, luggage and aviation. Despite its name, you can carry whatever you like in this usually round piece of luggage. I packed a wheel of cheese in mine. Hatbox. I bought an original 1858 stackable flat-lid trunk from this luggage maker and now fashion house. Spoiler alert, not a good carry-on. Louis Vuitton. I crammed insufficient amounts of liquid toiletries into a clear pouch to comply with the TSA policy known by these 3 numbers. 311. My suitcase from this brand fell off the luggage cart. I hope the bag's as strong as the biblical guy who inspired the name. Samsonite. Nautical name of the airline that brings the characters on Lost to the start of their odd adventure. Oceanic Airlines. Per FAA rules, my electric toothbrush is in my carry-on, as it has one of these batteries prone to overheating and thermal runaway. Lithium-ion. Vocabulary and age definitions. A person who is 70 or more but less than 80 years old. Septuagenarian. One who speaks or writes many languages. Multilingual. Polyglot. Unable to read or write, which seems unlikely right now. Illiterate. The person appointed by a testator regarding their will to see its provisions carried into effect after their death. Executor. The young of an animal of the horse family. Compare colt, filly. Foal. Music and pop culture. Go ahead, you can say the title of this Kendrick Lamar album full of one-word song titles like love and humble. Merriam-Webster says this idiomatic phrase is 2 words, but Nirvana made it 1 in 1991. Smells like teen spirit. Sun Microsystems CEO Jonathan Schwartz was the first Fortune 200 exec to resign, via tweet. He wrote this type of poem suited to the medium. Haiku. Though Michael Jackson wrote 2 #1 hits for this 1982 album, the title track was penned by Rod Temperton. Thriller. We've heard whispers that John McVie suggested changing the title of a 1977 album from Yesterday's Gone to this. Rumors. You Need to Calm Down and Cruel Summer are tracks on this 2019 offering from Taylor Swift. Lover. Science, health and nature. All free radicals have at least one unpaired this. Electron. A savory Japanese dish, nankatsu is this connective tissue from chickens, grilled or fried. Cartilage. NASA calls this the sun's outer atmosphere, and scientists are curious why it's hotter than lower layers. Corona. The pancreas secretes glucagon and this hormone to regulate the body's sugar balance. Insulin. This element uses the symbol Pb because its Latin name is plumbum. Lead. This family name for some primates comes from the Latin for man. Hominid. World history and world leaders. Araminta Ross was the birth name of this leader of the Underground Railroad. Harriet Tubman. Celebrations erupted in the streets of Harare after the 2017 resignation of this president who once said, "Only God will remove me." Robert Mugabe. Emperor Akihito abdicated this country's chrysanthemum throne in 2019, the first to do so in over 200 years. Japan. In ancient Egypt, it was an oval or an oblong frame containing the name of a pharaoh in hieroglyphics. Cartouche. In her last cabinet meeting at 10 Downing Street in 1990, she said funny how it was time to leave despite having won a majority. Margaret Thatcher. Movies, television and literature. It's the company run by Tony, aka Iron Man. Stark Industries. On The Simpsons, You can treat yourself to a Duff beer or this cola that sounds like it might work similarly to the beer. Buzz Cola. The Acme products purchased by this cartoon character never quite work. In August, him versus Acme comes to the big screen. Wile E. Coyote. The Nautilus is a submarine, not a monster of the deep, and it's what is attacking ships in this adventure novel. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. This magazine with a name familiar to fashion models turns the pages in The Devil Wears Prada films. Runway. This star, director and writer who won an Oscar for his 1996 film was called The Hillbilly Orson Welles by Robert Duvall. Billy Bob Thornton. Geography, Places and Landmarks. Completed in 1843 in England, the first successful tunnel under a river was under this one. Thames. Home of the American Row Society, this port, on the Red River in northwest Louisiana, was named for a steamboat captain. Shreveport. Hopefully a trip to this more than 7,000-foot-high pass in the Sierra Nevadas won't lead to disaster as it did in 1846. Donner Pass. Killington is a killer ski resort in the Green Mountains of this state. Vermont. The running of the reindeer is an annual event in the city on the Cook Inlet. Anchorage. This Colombian city served as inspo for Gabriel Garcia Marquez, who is interred there. Cartagena. West Mitten Butte and the Three Sisters are rock formations in this valley, a famed movie location within the Navajo Nation. Monument Valley. General trivia and mixed categories. A multiple world title holder, pro wrestler Mark Calloway was better known by this name. The Undertaker. In gymnastics, a side is one of these maneuvers, but with no hands. Somersault. This adjective describes an entire school of thought associated with the 17th C. Frenchman, not just his math coordinates. Cartesian. The name of this company, founded in 1851 and known for underwear, suggests its origin in textile manufacturing. Fruit of the Loom. This actor and Buddhist says kindness is the big lesson for his sons, including Homer James Jigme, his kid with Carrie Lowell. Richard Gere.